Start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March 10th regular board meeting for the Wenatchee School District.
We're just ready to stand up for the.
Oh, okay. We will open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Some of us sooner than others.
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. The crowd was leading that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Esta junta se lleva a cabo en inglés, pero contamos con servicio de traducción. Si alguien gusta hacer un comentario público o recibir explicaciones en español, por favor indique su necesidad. All right, we're now going to work through the agenda. Board, are there any proposed changes or modifications to the agenda? Seeing a lot of shaking heads, I will say we will move on to the consent agenda as it is. The items on the consent agenda were sent to the board and posted online last week. The board has had the opportunity to review the materials and ask the superintendent any questions they have about any items on the consent agenda. The consent agenda for this meeting includes the minutes for the 2/24/26 regular meeting, vouchers and payroll, personnel report, surplus report, contracts, field trips, and policies with non-substantive changes. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It has been moved by Julie and seconded by Mark. Any discussion? No? All right. All in favor of adopting the consent agenda as presented, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Bright spots. I'll turn it over to Corey for this evening's bright spot.
Excellent. We have our bright spots moments at each board meeting. Gives the school board of directors and I. Well, that was interesting.
Excuse me.
Gives the school board of directors and I the opportunity to.
Keep it together. Keep it together. You got this.
All right. The opportunity to highlight a celebration in the district and honor the great work and the educational experiences that are happening throughout the district. And tonight is Math is Cool team from Washington Elementary, and Tucker actually helped us get this. So do you want to say a few things about Math is Cool?
Sure. So I help coach the 4th grade Math is Cool team at Washington. And so I burdened the 2 instructors for the 4th and 5th graders there and asked them to come in and bring some students because I think it's really cool. It's a really cool program. And every school in the district has at least one team that does Math is Cool. So it's something that we do across the district. And it's a really cool program. So I'm going to bring up Sarah Smeller and Shannon Reichert with their students from Washington Elementary.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Do I need to have it on? Okay. All right. Superintendent Callahar, President Jackson, and other members of the Wenatchee School Board, good evening. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you on behalf of some great, wonderful things that are happening in math at Washington Elementary. My name is Shannon Reichert, and I'm a 4th grade teacher.
And my name is Sarah Smeller, and I'm also a 4th grade teacher at Washington.
This year, with the encouragement of our assistant principal, Mr. Weaver, our 4th grade team made the decision to level students during our math differentiation block. This approach mirrors our walk to read model already used within the district, and we simply applied the same concepts to our math instruction. As a team, including our interventionist specialist, Dalia Neavis, we analyzed the data from our SBA, our iReady diagnostic, our CFAs, and teacher inputs to build our initial groups. Periodically, during our PLC times, we reevaluate student progress and shift students to new groups based on their performance.
So by grouping students based on their learning needs in math, teachers use this dedicated time every day in order to meet the needs of each and every student. We use this to fill some gaps with students that are struggling with math skills. So we have students meeting in much smaller groups for that, but every single student is placed with a teacher during that time. as opposed to other previous models where students might be working on iReady Path on a computer or possibly working on worksheets. Every single student is working with an adult during that time. We think this is super important, super cool, and we've had so much support in the building for this with Mr. Weaver, as mentioned before, but also Dahlia, who's been invaluable to us in helping us plan all of those groups, because not only are we wanting to meet the needs of the students that have those gaps and that are needing that extra support, but we want to be able to challenge our students that are also being successful and providing them some extensions in the work that we're doing.
So this structure allows those additional roles to be fulfilled. And as our roles as fourth grade teachers, this also allows us to coach our students for Math is Cool. What does that mean? That means I'm currently a fourth grade teacher and a Math is Cool coach. Math is Cool is a team based on competition that began in Washington Elementary in 1996.
Washington State.
I'm sorry, Washington State. Students compete in teams of 4 individuals. They compete on an individual test, a mental math section, and several collaborative team events. The math content is very rigorous, and it gives the students the opportunity to think critically for themselves and develop the higher level mathematical skills needed to advance in their mathematical career.
I had the opportunity to coach as a parent when my daughter, who's now a junior, was in 4th and 5th grade. So I was recruited as a parent, so I got a taste of it then. And our school, with COVID happening and everything shutting down for a little while, we kind of lost that for a while at our building. So Mrs. Reichert and I took that on our shoulders with some encouraging from some parents, and it's been a wonderful thing for our students. So our math differentiation time that we have during our school day also allows me to work with our 4th grade students with the upper level students that are really getting it and they need a challenge. It allows me to reinforce those skills that they're learning with Mrs. Reichert on her 4th grade Math is Cool team. Also, because I coach the 5th grade team, I know which skills the students will need in the future as they come to me to the 5th grade Math is Cool team, and it helps prepare them for those future opportunities and for the competition, which is the fun part where they get to apply what they've learned. Students who are not part of the team, we also include those students in that enrichment and extension as well during that walk to math time.
Together, Mrs. Smeller and I promote the love of mathematics through consistent practice, teamwork, engaging instruction, and challenging students each and every day to think critically through their math problems. So tonight, as you know, we've brought some wonderful students representing both 4th and 5th grade, and we would like them to be able to share their experiences with you. And first up is Andrew from 4th grade. Do you want to step over here so they can see you? Can you hold that? Okay,
Yeah.
you want to look towards?
Hello, board members. This is Andrew Tang in 4th grade from Washington Elementary, and I will share my experience on Math is Cool. First, Math is Cool gives a fun experience to learn more about math, and every time I go to practice, I feel like I get smarter and smarter. Next, the skills and strategies I've learned from practice have really helped me a lot because it gives a better, more efficient way to solve something every single time. Lastly, the teamwork that I have experienced in Math is Cool is really helpful. Whenever I need help on something, on a team test, I can always ask a teammate for help. I would like to thank Mrs. Reicher and Mrs. Smeller, and I believe me and my team will have fun this Friday's competition, and thank you guys for your time.
Thank you, Andrew. The 4th grade team is competing this Friday at Foothills Elementary for their regional champs competition. So we're excited to support you this Friday. And how many team members do you have? 13 team members for fourth grade. And next up, I have some of my fifth graders who competed a few weeks ago at the Champs competition, and they placed first place at our regional competition in the highest division. So we're super proud of them. And we had 16 mathletes on our team, and now 4 get to proceed on to our Masters competition in Moses Lake, which will happen later in May. So first off, I'd like to introduce Miles Carnline. He is our first place champion for the individual overall in that highest division. So we're super proud of that. And then we'll hear from a couple others that are going to be on that team that goes to our state competition. All right, Miles, would you like to share a little bit about your experience? Yeah. So you can see yourself up there. Yeah.
Good morning, board members. I just really liked how my team supported me during the whole competition. I also really liked being able to talk to the team about how more challenging, complex problems, because in normal school, like the normal day, we do more fifth grade and easier problems, and you can't really talk to people around there about more complex, higher graded like math. And so I really liked talking to my teammates about more complex math, and it helped helped me find easier ways to do stuff because they taught me through my mistakes. I just really liked it.
Thank you, Miles. All right, and next we have Vivian Smith. Vivian is also going to be going to Masters with us, and we have other exciting news for Vivian. Yesterday, she got to participate in the top 10 for her writing for being junior royalty for Apple Blossom. So good luck to Vivian on that. So she's had a busy week this week. But Vivian, I am so excited for you to share right now. What is your favorite thing about being a part of Math is Cool?
My favorite part about being in Math is Cool is probably the support from everyone and working on hard problems that actually challenge me. Because in class, we're usually just working on not very hard things for most math is cool people. So it's really fun to try and actually like work through things. So yeah.
Thank you. Nice. Thank you, Vivian. And next we have Thomas. Thomas placed second overall in the individual part of the competition, and he will also be going on to Masters. But I asked Thomas to share a little bit about what his favorite part was about Math is Cool, and he said something about the competition, so I'm going to let him share that with you.
So my favorite part about the competition was the College Bowl, cause it was like, cause it was like it wasn't like slow. You had to do it like fast. And
explain what College Bowl is to them?
so there's like 2 teams, and there's like a question being read, and whichever team like solves it first can like pull a buzzer, and if they get it right, then it's like a point for them. And if they get it wrong, then the other team answers, and it goes until and there's 10 questions.
Yeah. Does that make you feel stressed out at all? No, the answer is
No.
Okay, likes the challenge. It stresses a lot of people out because you have a buzzer and you have to pull it before the other team does. So I'm excited that you love that one because that one would terrify me as well. All right, thank you so much, Thomas. All right. Also joining our team when we go to Moses Lake will be McKinnon Aiden. She was not able to attend tonight, but she also placed third overall in the competition for the individual test. So I would also like to give a shout out to William Campbell. He will be our alternate if one of our members is not able to attend. And also our wonderful PTSA made this possible for us to go. So I would like to thank our PTSA. They paid for our registration fees so that we're able to participate in this. We would like to be able to bring more students, but they do limit how many teams we're able to bring. So we are super excited about this Friday with the fourth graders getting to show their stuff. And I'm super proud of the hard work and determination that these students are doing each week. It's every week they're meeting for an hour and a half outside of the school day. And they have extra homework too, which I'm sure they absolutely love. And parents love too. So thank you, parents, for your support as well in helping that happen. All right.
So thank you again. We appreciate all that you do for all of the students in Wenatchee School District and Washington Elementary. Thank you.
And thank you for staying late and doing more school after school. And nice work, everyone, for coming out. Thanks for telling us your experiences, students. Okay, citizen comment, Kim? All right, we will move on past citizen comment.
Perfect. Let's move into our special presentations. First up, we have Director of Learning and Teaching, Amber Burks, who is here tonight with the special presentation. Thanks, everyone.
Hello. Good evening. I am so excited to be here tonight to honor our national boards certified teachers. And I just wanted to say that this is a big honor for me to recognize these amazing teacher leaders. This accomplishment, before we get celebrating this accomplishment, I'd like to share a bit about the context and of the process of National Board Certification. This process is recognized as a gold standard certification. It is grounded in the belief that higher standards for teachers lead to better learning outcomes for students. Again, this is considered the gold standard certification process for teachers, the highest award in our nation. And the 3 key steps to becoming a national board teacher, as you could imagine, are very rigorous. One, they demonstrate content knowledge through a computer-based assessment that has a depth of questioning that is very complex. They show evidence of effective teaching by submitting portfolio entries, including student work and classroom videos, which is everyone's very favorite, those videos. They reflect on practice and their professional growth by analyzing instructional decisions and their impact on student learning. National board certification represents, again, the highest rigorous certification process available to educators. Achieving this distinction is a powerful testament to our national board teachers' unwavering commitment to excellence, to their students, and to their teaching profession as a whole. In addition to honoring individual educators, the National Board also recognizes school districts that demonstrate a strong commitment to student learning through this process. In 2019, the National Board accomplished districts program first honored 81 districts in which at least 20% of teachers had earned National Board certification. Wenatchee School District is proud to be among those recognized. We have several nationally board certified teachers. With that context in mind, it is my privilege on behalf of Wenatchee School District to congratulate our most recent educators who have achieved National Board certification and or re-certification in Ann Young's situation. Way to go, Ann. There should be an award for that too. So please join me in recognizing. I'll begin with Shauna Gardner. Shauna is a teacher of the deaf for our Wenatchee School District and maybe the first to certify, I don't know, in that area. So well done, Shauna. And we have Tammy Honeycutt. We have Ann Young, kindergarten at Lincoln Elementary. I forgot to say Tammy Honeycutt is at Orchard Middle School as an ELD teacher. And finally, we have Michael Lazater, who's health and fitness at Wenatchee High School, and he's unable to be here tonight, but we wanted to honor him as well. And I just wanted to say in closing that thank you so much for this modeling the highest standards for professional education. Well done. You want to get a picture? Let's get a picture together too. Where do you want to stand?
Thank you for your dedication and commitment. We appreciate it. And thanks for coming tonight. Okay, next up, we're celebrating Education Support Professionals Week, and Executive Director of Human Resources, Kelly Lopez, is here to tell us a little bit about it. Thanks, Kelly.
Everybody's gone. I am here to honor our classified staff, two of which we have right over here. So, woo! They didn't know they were getting into that tonight. Our school district has roughly 530 classified staff members. Some classified staff work directly with our students and others support behind the scenes, all equally important. I've seen how our policies and contracts define our classified staff roles, but job descriptions can really never truly capture what our employees do. When I walk into a district building, I don't just see employees. I really see the backbone of our school district. We often talk about the school day, but for students, that day does not just start at the first bell. It really starts for some around 6:30 in the morning when a bus pulls up to the corner and they see that smiling face. It starts when our secretaries who are at our front desks greet our kindergartners. It starts when our custodians create that welcoming, clean space. Our classified staff are the first faces some of our students see when they leave home, providing that vital sense of security for them when they get to some of our very large buildings. And when the final bell rings, they are some of the last faces our students see before they go back to their families. Often that includes high fives and encouraging words, and I'll see you tomorrow. And for some, those are the only smiling faces that they're going to be seeing. While our certificated staff handle the direct curriculum for students, our classified staff handle the humanity of it. Our paraeducators provide the individualized patience that turns I can'ts into I dids. The nutrition services team makes sure that none of our students are learning on empty stomachs. Our maintenance and tech teams build the infrastructure that makes modern learning possible. I can tell that our school system can survive a day without me as an executive director, but they cannot survive without our classified staff. On behalf of our district's leadership team, I want to thank our classified staff for their dedication, their resilience, and for choosing to spend their talents here at the Wenatchee School District with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Wonderful words. Next up, we have a budget update and a slide presentation that we'll have pulled up in a second here. But I just want to thank everyone for their time this evening, President Jackson and the school board members. The 26-27 school year will be our fourth intentional budget reduction for the Wenatchee School District due to declining enrollment and inflationary factors. The great thing is we know this work. We plan for this work annually, and we make the necessary projections for the process. So we are doing the right work to align our budget and our staffing to our current enrollment and the reductions in funding. Tonight, we do have a little bit of some good news that we get to share along the way. So that's not always part of our budget reduction meetings, but we'll share that along the way. And I want to kick off the same way that I did Did a little buzz thing. Okay. The same way I did on January 13th when we had our first budget reduction conversation of this school year. And I want to clarify the difference between our operating budget, which is the topic of this evening, and then bond funds that we will be asking from our community later in the year to build a new Wenatchee High School, and of course the HVAC systems in many of our schools and middle schools throughout the district. So as you can see from the slide here, our operating budget really talks about the funds that produce our day-to-day operations, all of our student support, and all of our staffing. It comes from a combination of state, federal allocations, and local levy dollars. And the amounts are based on student enrollment, special needs of students, such as low socioeconomic status, disabilities, and English language skills, limited English language skills. What the operating budget cannot do is it cannot build new schools, it cannot replace facilities, it cannot support large-scale construction, nor can it pay long-term debt. So we just want to make sure that we're clearly distinct in those areas. The other side is bonds. Bonds are for building. And these are voter-approved funds to build or modernize school buildings. We know that this is from long-term 15 to 30-year basically loans for bonds that are paid off by local property taxes. And we want to also clarify that bonds cannot pay for teachers or staff salaries. They cannot pay for supplies. They cannot pay for daily operations, nor instructional programs or administrative costs, and they cannot backfill budget shortfalls. So just clearly differentiating between those two areas. And we also want to take a moment to share a little bit about, or a moment to thank our Wenatchee community for their support of last year's levy, which passed about 13 months ago. And again, not to confuse the topic, but levies are for learning, where we just mentioned bonds are for building. And we just want to remind our community that their support is critical for our programs, our extracurricular activities, and the athletics that we continue to offer. So thank you for your support, for the student experience that we're able to provide. And then you'll hopefully have recognized this mailer that you received in the beginning of the year. Oh, good. Julie's daughter's on there. Okay. I love that. Okay. Well, we had a conversation at our board budget committee meeting last week about kind of revitalizing or resharing some of the budget reduction principles that guide the work that we do. And so I wanted to take a moment to go through that. So this is some new information it's not new, it's how we guide ourselves into the budget reduction process. But we didn't see this in January on the 13th. So one of the things that guides our budget reduction principles is our promise to our students over here. We promise to build the foundation of diversity, equity, and inclusion from which each student emerges future ready, as that guides the work that we do overall. We also want to make sure that we're prioritizing student outcomes. We continue to support programs that impact students, whether that's academic, social, emotional, or extracurricular. We also want to make sure that during the process, we're leveraging resignations and retirements. And by that, we mean, are we looking critically at each position as they exit or resign from our system, and really look at, is that an opportunity that we have for a budget reduction in the future? We also want to make sure that we're making reductions furthest from the classroom wherever possible. And we know that we had to get to the point when we started the budget reduction process where we really were aligning our staffing to enrollment. And now that we've done that, we want to make critical decisions that take that budget reduction further from the classroom, if at all possible. We also want to optimize operations, efficiencies, and needs. We know that our schools were built to hold larger populations, and at times we have to look at those efficiencies in the area of importance there. We also want to make sure that we have transparency and communication as often as possible, and explain the whole story where we can. And that's why we're coming back with our second budget update for the 26-27 school year tonight. We also want to maintain levy-funded programs and student opportunities wherever possible. Again, a thank you to our community for supporting our levies. And then the principle that is very important as we're doing this work is that we do have short-term goals when we think about budget reduction, and that is the implications that are next year. But we also have to look at the long-term picture and planning as well. As we've looked at the data on January 13th, we see that we could potentially have budget reductions that take us well into 2037 as we are graduating classes of 500 plus and having kindergarten classes of 380. So really want to balance all of those pieces. We can't just look at the short term. We have to look at the long-term implications as well. So, and I'll pause there if there are any comments from the board.
I want to say I appreciate this as a kind of a showcasing what your decision-making process looks like, because I think that it's easy to say 2.5 million, what does that look like? But there's a lot of moving pieces that you guys have to juggle to make that actually 2.5 million work. And so kind of giving us some insight into what that looks like, especially that making reductions furthest from the classroom is really, I think important to show.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll add to that. I appreciate seeing this because we're now to a point with budget reduction phases where it's less board getting to choose between particular options versus this is just a philosophy we go through. So I think it's important for the board to know what is guiding your work because we aren't constantly being asked, do you approve this or that plan? So it's helpful. We talked about this in the budget committee. I think it's helpful for the board to know what we're looking at and that to know for the community to know that we're behind it as well.
Thank you very much. Any other thoughts? Okay. All right. Excellent. Thank you. Let me get my clicker. Okay. I turn myself off. Okay, so here is a slide that we see often when we talk about the budget reduction process and cycle, and kind of where we are as well. So we are days away from the state legislative budget session ending, which is great because that will really tell us a lot about what the implications are for our own budgets for next year. I did hear today from Superintendent Reichdahl on his webinar that they may need an extra day. Sounds like they're spending a lot of time on some income tax conversations that are happening. So there may be some extra time that is needed to fully talk about the budget cycle. So just letting folks know where we are. During this time, this is when we like to finalize our staff moves and let people know who are impacted. During this time, we have kind of a natural cutoff of spring break is that time when we like to make sure that everybody is notified if they're going to be, if their job is going to be impacted in any way next year. So here is the orange celebration slide. 2026-27 federal funding has been restored, which we are very thankful about, and it really changes the overall picture in which we discussed budget reductions for the 26-27 school year. And so we'll move on to that slide. So you see some strikeouts from our June, wow, our January 13th meeting where we had our operational budget reduction target was 5.4 million. We are now just looking at the basic education allocation of 2.5 million, which is a great thing for our system and an even better celebration for our students and the student experience that they continue to have in the Wenatchee School District. So we still have work to do. We know that 2.5 million is still a considerable number for us to undertake for budget reductions, but it's not unfamiliar work. We know this work, unfortunately, and we know how to do that. And out of the budget reduction factors, the first two bullets stay the same: declining enrollment and inflationary costs outpacing the funding, but we are celebrating again in orange. The federal funding has been restored. So we're actually quite thrilled about that. Here are some federal budget factors that I do want to talk us through. We are cautiously moving forward. We want to make sure that we are good stewards of the funds. Being in budget reduction mode, that we are uniquely aware of all of the impacts, but we still have some concerns that there could be something that happens that makes the funds not be released as they were last year. So, but we're ready. We can take July again, and do that if it happens. We have been assured from North Central ESD and OSPI that the funds will be released. So we're feeling better about that, but we are moving forward cautiously. And one thing that I do want to make sure, the reason that it hit the Wenatchee School District hard last year is we have the 5th largest migrant program in the state. So a large impact financially. So when the funding didn't come through in late July, we had some major planning to do. And as you know, from the budget cycle for the 25-26 school year, that's right in the middle. We've presented to you the budgets in all 5 fund or in all 5 categories, and then July is when it goes to the ESD, it goes to OSPI, and then in August we come back and the board approves. So it's really not the ideal time to be making budget reductions. So we know all that. We are looking at opportunities to reimagine our federal program allocation. One of the reasons that we're doing that is because the funds that we will receive this year are based on 2024 allocations, and they don't have increases for inflation or IPD for salaries. So we want to make sure that we are very intentional about the work and how we move forward. We also are approaching new ways to support students with this particular funding for the long game moving forward. So we want to just clarify that and share that information. We also are excited to continue to support students at high levels through staffing and programs that currently exist for our students. Again, this is a slide that you saw in January, the areas of reduction. We've done some deep restructuring to our district office administration. We've also consequently had to restructure our building administration in that process. We are looking at retirements and resignations very critically. There will be some staffing modifications both in the certificated world and some in the classified world. We do spend much of our time looking at unfilled positions throughout the year. As you know, we fund for 100% staffing, and that there are always savings in that area that we can look for. We do know we're going to have significant savings this year in our MSOC with contracts because we have the removal of the Stronger Connections grant, which has funded our SSSs for the last 3 years. So we know that that's a piece. The other side of it is, how are we looking at growth in the Wenatchee School District? And I have a slide on that that will kind of close us up for today. I'll share that in just a moment. But looking at the different areas where we can grow, where there are opportunities that for us to increase enrollment, and we have a few of those this year that we're very excited about. And then always making sure that the community and the board know there is no school closures for 26, 27. We don't want people to think that that is our budget reduction model, because it isn't, but we do want to signal that because we have had to do that in the past. And the enrollment decline data that was shared on January 13th, I just want to remind the community, if they would like to look at those graphs, charts, and explanations of the enrollment decline, they're welcome to. We're not going to go through those today, so maybe another celebration. But we do want to make sure that anyone watching that wants that additional information knows that they can access that information on the Wenatchee School District website. And then this is a very similar slide that we saw. However, instead of 5.4 at the bottom, we have 2.5 at the bottom, which is a much more reasonable number for us to address this year. And instead of, oh my gosh, what was it? 21.5, I think. Was it 21.5? 18.6 million that we will have reduced over the course of the 4 years of intentional budget reduction, which is still a very large number and a lot of work. So opportunities for future growth. Staffing for choice. We've changed our staffing model for in-district choice and for students out of district, creating a more welcoming system and creating a system that will, I believe, help sustain those students that do choice into our system over the long term. Oh, hello. What did I do? I got to catch up here. Okay. We also have created we're in year 2 of our Accelerated Pathways program, which I'm very excited about as well. Preliminary numbers are showing that we have a lot of students that are choosing to begin their college in the high school program and earn that transfer degree or that 2-year degree at staying at Wenatchee High School. We also know that we have 2 opportunities in particular at Valley. One is that we have about 16 ninth graders that will be moving to 7th grade. Nope, they're not going to be moving to 7th grade, just like we're not in June and talking about January. I want to apologize, but we'll have a variety of ninth graders that will be moving to 10th grade. And we're very excited about that because that will be additional growth for the program and additional FTE. Shelley Jelsing and her team are also looking at kindergarten opportunities as well and offering what would be at Valley. A new program would be full-time kinder opportunities at Valley Academy as opposed to a half-time program. So that's another exciting opportunity and an FTE increaser for us. We also have additional ALE opportunities. We actually chose to create a new smaller program at Westside that is very much like our credit acceleration program at the Tech Center, but we've added close to 30 additional students for that ALE opportunity, and an additional teacher that was teaching at the Tech Center is now at Westside doing that. That will carry on into next year, so another increased opportunity there. We also adjusted our registration timeline to capture folks a little bit early and to give an increased window for people to join the Wenatchee School District at whatever capacity they're ready to join. And then we are still researching other areas for growth and or efficiencies along the way. So exciting stuff. And I want to close with the advertising that the Wenatchee School District has taken on this year, which has been exciting, not only from the superintendent's chair, but also from our communication director's chair as well, just to see some of the great things that are happening. Here's one of the examples of the billboard. So this is our accelerated pathways in Spanish as well. So in January, we had an English version. In February, we had a Spanish version. And then I haven't seen it yet, but we believe it's been shifted to dual language and for March, which is exciting, just to encourage people to know the great programming that is only offered regionally through Wenatchee School District. So we're very excited about that. Let's see here. What is that? Oh, I think that was I ended on that note. So any questions or comments from the board?
I have a comment.
Yes, please.
We were watching ESPN the other day and a commercial came on. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I haven't.
Pathways. What it was?
Accelerated pathways. Yes.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah. And actually, I've seen it quite a few times. I don't know if it's the same channel because we always have the TV on. I don't know if it's always been on ESPN because we watch that a lot, or if it's been different channels. But yes, it is constantly coming on. So kudos.
I'll add, I've noticed a lot more of the advertising and it's actually really exciting to like look down on Facebook and see, oh, that's actually Wenatchee. Yeah. I see the purple and gold and I think it's UW. And then I look down and I'm like, oh, that's Wenatchee. That's awesome. That's even better. So really exciting. And just thinking now as I'm starting to see more bond information coming out, I think it's great that you're getting on it. They're getting on it so early. And I think that could easily be one of our opportunities for growth because a beautiful new facility would certainly help with some of our enrollment things. So excited for it all.
Excellent. Well said. I appreciate that. We've talked to some community members who have also seen some of the new advertising in different places than they have in the past. And I think one of the gentleman that we talked to, Diana, was it on Spotify? Was that where he was? I think that's where he's like, I was on Spotify and here's a Wenatchee School District advertisement. And he goes, I hadn't seen that before. So we're thrilled. It's exciting.
Sorry to interrupt. One of the cool things is that we don't have local television here. We go to West Side channels. So to actually see a local channel is out of the ordinary. So yeah, I was really taken back. I'm like, this is not Locatel?
Any other thoughts or comments? Awesome. Thank you for the time and the budget update. We will we know we're going to have probably one final update as well when we start showing how the numbers break down this year, so the board knows where the 2.5 is coming from, whether that's administrative or otherwise. So we'll be back to chat about that. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you want to just start us off with discussion now for the policies first read?
Yes, let's do that. So we had our policies committee met and we went over, Kim, how many were there? There were 11. There was 11 policies, but a lot of them didn't have really substantive changes so you saw a lot of those in the consent agenda, but we have a few here. The first one, 1111, which is the oath of office. So as you know, it's like, wait, didn't we just update this one? And so we're following WASDA's recommendations, and the change here really emphasized the oath and following the state law. The wording changed from will to must. So it's really showing that it's a vital reminder to uphold the state constitution and law. But we didn't have a lot of comment on that one. We just kind of moved that one forward. Any other thoughts? Okay. So 5010, discrimination-free workplace, and this one did have some changes. The title was changed. Evidently, people were having trouble navigating WASDA's policies because there is a student equivalent of this policy that has a similar name. So members were commonly getting confused between the two policies. We were a little bit taken aback when we noticed that the affirmative action section was removed, and so we had some conversation about that. Kim came in and shared with us that there is a sentence that does reference the entire RCW that is spelled out in detail. They just went with a one sentence reference as opposed to spelling out the RCW in the actual policy. And so with that, we were able to move the conversation forward. Anything you two want to add?
Yeah, and to that, one of the updates was that the affirmative action plan is part of our procedure. And I believe Kelly confirmed with
Yep.
Corey that we do have a plan.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks, Maria. It's kind of fun having you. This is our policy committee
Yeah.
right here. There's like, right, I got it. Okay. And any other thoughts? I'm sorry. Okay. The last two, 6920, 6910, really didn't have a lot of changing. There was some providing some clarity and some general housekeeping. We didn't have a lot of conversation. We kind of, we read it, it made sense. And, yeah, we moved those forward to the board. So any comments from anyone else? Okay, well, we will bring these back on the 24th of March for second read, and yeah, we'll go from there. We can move on to some action. Time to get some
All right,
action.
back to me. All right, so Newberry playground equipment. I'm just gonna up top remind everyone that this is not the district buying new playground equipment. This is the PTO saving for 10 years to create their own playground equipment. It is us approving their ability to get permits and have in-kind donations done to do the work to change their facility. So do I have a motion to approve the capital updates to Newberry Elementary?
I move to approve the capital updates to Newberry Elementary Playground.
As presented. I'll second.
All right, it is moved by Caroline and seconded by Julie. Any discussion? All right, I want to say a little bit like thank you to their PTA for doing this. They set a 10-year goal, and raising over $100,000 is really an impressive act. And I will also say thank you to the local businesses that are donating their in-kind time and effort into making it. And I'm happy that we can help facilitate that as well from the district side. So all in favor of approving the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, our next order of business is the superintendent report.
Let's go. I had a super fun Friday night on February 27th with jazz night with the pros. That was fun. Did you go? Oh, okay. Tucker was there because I saw Theo was there as well. It was so fun. In the past I've gone to either the Meet the Pros night or the actual jazz night, and this year I went to the jazz night, and so it was just super fun. It was great to see. I mean, Orchard, Pioneer, Foothills, Wenatchee High School, and our Eastmont counterparts all there. 2 hours of amazing jazz. I was really pumped that they they did a Radiohead song. It was really cool. I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, it was great. So that was super fun. We have also in the bond engagement world, we have our first design advisory committee tomorrow night. And as I shared with the board in the weekly, we had a whopping 87 applicants for design advisory committee. People are ready to get out and tell us what they want to see in the next Wenatchee High School. So we're super pumped. I'm very impressed. And we've got a great program tomorrow night, 6 to 8 o'clock. So we're really excited. So, and then on another note, a week ago Tuesday, we had a restructuring committee meeting. There was two main objectives that night, and one was for us to discuss obviously areas for restructuring, but we're looking at getting some community feedback at some point as well on some of the areas for potential restructuring, but also to garner some feedback on the world of career and technical education and dual language as well. So we're excited to get that. Our goal is to also come to the school board for a presentation on April 14th. So I'm really excited about that. You will not be hearing from me. You'll be hearing from committee members, which is exactly what you'll be excited to hear. This week is busy, folks. We have a migrant night Thursday. We have dual language discovery nights at Lewis and Clark that are taking place right now and Thursday. Sunny Slope has a family night on Thursday, and the importance of being earnest opens Thursday as well, too. So lots of things happening right now. Anyway, that is the end. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nice work. Thank you. We'll start with board communication down at my left. Caroline, you want to start us off?
Do I have a choice? I finished off my school visits this week or last week, I think, including going to the tech center where I got to be witness to a kid getting shot in the arm with a staple gun. So that was super fun. Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Criminal justice. Yeah, no, they handled it so well. The kids were great. Mr. Jelsing was great. The secretary had the incident report written before the kid had even left to go get it checked out. Like it was all around. I mean, terrible situation, but they handled it really well. And let's see, planning to go to the importance of being earnest. And I did get to go back to my alma mater with Pioneer, and that was fun hanging out with all my old people. So, yeah.
Thank you. Julie?
I don't have much. I just want to give a congratulations to our board certified or our new board certified teachers. So
Yeah.
great work for all of you. Keep it up for our district.
Mark? Yeah.
I wasn't ready to go next. I also don't have much, except for let's also recognize the Education Support Specialist Week too.
Maria? Ditto. I'll also echo that the student jazz night was a lot of fun to go to. My son was there, but it was incredible, the talent on display. And the pros were very supportive. There were a lot of like pats on the back. There was a lot of adjusting microphones to get like the best sound quality for the students who were just freaking out about just playing their instruments. So it was really great to see them volunteering their time and their expertise and really, I think, being a part of the concert with the students as opposed to either being a little bit aloof or else just kind of listening. So that was a really fun thing. And that's the rest for me. So we are adjourned.